we're going to begin with that breaking news on the Biden transition. It comes nearly 3 weeks after Election Day. Tonight, after a razor-close vote, recounts, and legal challenges, the formal transfer of power has begun. The General Services Administration says Joe Biden is the apparent winner of the election, clearing the way for the Biden team to coordinate with federal agencies. President Trump is telling his team to cooperate, but vows to keep up the fight. CBS reporter Natalie Brand live at the White House with the very latest. Natalie?
Good evening, Alan. And President Trump is still not conceding, but tonight appearing to acknowledge that a transition is coming. I want to read you part of his tweet this evening that says, quote, "Our case strongly continues. We will keep up the good fight. Nevertheless, in the best interest of our country, I am recommending that Emily," referring to the General Services Administration administrator, "and her team do what needs to be done with regard to initial protocols." He's told his team to do the same. So again, this major step of the GSA begin the formal transition process, and this comes as today we learned more about who President-elect Joe Biden wants in some of his top cabinet positions. He also spoke to some of the nation's mayors today, including Fremont's.
President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris met virtually with the U.S. Conference of Mayors Monday.
The Biden-Harris administration will have an open door for mayors.
Before the meeting, the former vice president released the names of his picks for several key posts. Mr. Biden has chosen Tony Blinken for Secretary of State, Jake Sullivan as National Security Advisor, and Linda Thomas Greenfield to become the next U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Alejandro Mayorkas is the first Latino American and immigrant nominated as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, while Avril Haines has been tapped to become the first woman nominated for Director of National Intelligence.
Why'd you go with national security first?
Because it's national security.
After a standoff of more than 2 weeks, the General Services Administration has given the go-ahead to begin the formal transition process. On Twitter, President Trump says his case strongly continues, but he's now telling the GSA administrator to do what needs to be done.
Michigan's Board of Canvassers voted Monday to certify former Vice President Joe Biden won the state. It also passed a motion calling on the state legislature to investigate the election. The first family has made few public appearances since election night, but they are now preparing for the holidays. Monday, First Lady Melania Trump received the White House Christmas tree, and on Tuesday, President Trump is expected to participate in the annual Thanksgiving turkey pardon.
And back to the developing news with the General Services Administration. The administrator, Emily Murphy, wrote a letter which reveals in part some of her reasons why she took this step of signing off, citing recent certifications of election results. We had Michigan just today and recent developments involving legal challenges. The Trump campaign had another legal setback in Pennsylvania over the weekend, Alan.
So, Natalie, the GSA announcement today. In terms of money and, of course, services to the Biden-Harris ticket, what does it mean to the transition?
Yeah, Alan, there's around $7 million in funding and resources, office space that will now go to help transition staffers. And another key piece of this is that the transition staffers and officials can begin communicating with the federal agency officials. And that communication will be key, especially in addressing things like the coronavirus and pandemic response and national security challenges. And another big piece of this is background checks and security clearances can now begin for some of these key staffing picks that the president-elect has begun naming, Alan.
It's a lot to catch up on. All right, Natalie Brand at the White House, thank you so much.